All right, testing. Let me make sure everything is good. All right. Oh, I'm about to mess up. All praise to the Creator. Shalom to Sister Latoya G. Happy Shabbat to each one of you. To you, my sis. I'm so used to having, seeing the group of people come in, but it's okay. It's okay. All praises. Happy Shabbat to you, Sister Latoya G. We thank the Creator for you. Make sure as when you come into the building, you press that like button, thumbs up, and share the page. Let me make sure I get everything in. All right. We thank the Creator for each one of you for joining me. Shalom. Happy Shabbat to Sister Latoya G. Make sure as when you come into the building, you press that like button, that subscribe button, that share button, because we are live. Let others know that we are live tonight. And this is the day that the Creator has designed for you to celebrate. How do you celebrate the Shabbat? How do you celebrate it? How do you celebrate the Shabbat? I go over it all the time. You celebrate the Shabbat by doing what? First, I have to blow the shofar in a minute. We thank the Creator for each one of you for joining us. Shalom to Shamar, Bowman, and Emery. Make sure when you come into the building, you press that like, subscribe, and the share button. Let's do that tonight. Let's share this page tonight. Share this page. At least the two people that you know. Rather if they look at it or not, just share the page. Let them see that we're here and we ain't going no way. You know what I'm saying? So what is the Shabbat is about? The Shabbat, 6 days thou shalt work. What are you working on, family? What are you working on? You're working on yourself. You're working on you. The flaws that you recognize, you identify, and you begin to work to what? Control that flaw. That's what you're doing. You're working to control that flaw. You see how that work? You're working to control that flaw. And as you begin to work on it, and you work on it, and you work on it for your 6 days, if you, let's say you was a person that tell lies, and you recognize that you are a liar, or you're a thief, or you're a deceiver, and you recognize these things within you. You work on those things by trying to not do it. And when the Shabbat comes, the seventh day, you're supposed to see progress of you not doing it. That's what the Shabbat is about. And then we celebrate the progress, getting back to the rest of the Creator. And that's what the feast is about. Because we fell from purity to flaws. So now we are striving back to that purity. But we got to strive through them flaws. And as we strive through the flaws, we master those flaws. within the 6 days. It's not saying you're going to master the whole thing, but you master it to a point where you see progress of you making progress for not lying no more. You are making progress for not taking something that don't belong to you. You're making progress for not being a deceiver. That's what you celebrate. Other than just what? His creation. You celebrate the progress that you're making. You're striving back to the rest of the Creator. Because that's where you're going to find the Creator. You're going to find him in his rest. You're not going to find him all over the place. Shalom, shalom to Zipporah Smith, to Trey and Zayda. Make sure when you come into the building, you press that like, you press that subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and you press the share button. Let's share this page tonight. The 2 people that you know. Just share the page. Just share it. Do a marathon tonight. Share ITFTR Network. Let's help this page go through the algorithm to let others know that we're here. Let's do that marathon tonight. But you celebrate the progress. That's what you do. You see? We should be celebrating our progress of what we have strived to master. If you're not seeing progress in your life, then you have a problem with Sabbath. See how that work? The Sabbath don't go by no sun and the moon. The Sabbath go by your repentance. So without no further ado, family, we get back into Sirach. But this time we're in the 3rd chapter. And now we're going to deal with the house. We're dealing with individuals walking in wisdom. And now we're going to deal with the house, family. Because see, here's the thing. If you haven't mastered anything about yourself and you join with somebody, you can guarantee, or like them folks say, I could bet your bottom dollar. I didn't know the dollar was at the bottom, but I bet your bottom dollar you're gonna mess their life up. Because you can't come into somebody's life and build if you haven't mastered you. You see? You have to learn to build. But if you haven't yet built, or you haven't yet mastered you in wisdom, what do you think you're going to give to others who you connect with, or who you marry? It's easy to be with it's easy for a male to be with a female, and it's easy for a female to be with a male. But the question is, when two people spouse, oh my bad. When two people spouses meet and come together, the question is, are they moving in wisdom? Or are they just simply moving according to what they believe, feel, think? And then they connect. Because if you're not moving in wisdom, then what are you moving in? You're going to bring that thing and build that house with that which you're moving in. Now, I want you to pay attention to that, because that's very important. What you are moving in, if it's not wisdom, you're moving in something. It could be your feelings, it could be your emotions, it could be your thoughts, it could be your attitude, it could be whatever. But you're moving in something. And if it's not wisdom, you're going to come and build that house with that which you are moving in. That's where your confusion come in at. Because the Bible tells us we're supposed to move in wisdom. Shalom, shalom to brother Caesar Shiva. Happy Shabbat. Make sure when you come into the building, you press that like, the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed, and share the page tonight to 2 people. We got a marathon tonight. We want ITFTR Network to be shared with 2 people tonight. Each person share the page with 2 people. Okay? So if you come and be with somebody and you're not moving in wisdom, then family, you're going to be in confusion. I know a lot of people ain't gonna like this tonight, but guess what? I don't care. Because we're here, only ITFTR Network, we teach truth. We don't teach nothing else. We don't teach religion and doctrine. We don't teach church. We teach the law. That's what we teach over here. We teach the law. We teach the law. So, hold on for a minute. Okay. We teach the law over here. We don't teach anything else over here but the law. So without no further ado, let's go ahead and get into Sirach, the 3rd chapter. This is part 4, walking in wisdom. Walking in wisdom. So let's start at verse 1, family. Hear me, O Father. So like hear me, your Father, O children, and do thereafter, that you may be safe. Now, I want you to pay attention to this, because if you read very careful, the Father is making a plea to his children. I asked a question last week about atoning for sins. We're going to touch on that in a minute. The Father is making a plea to his children. I want you to look at that real careful. Sirach, the 3rd chapter. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. Now they want to bother me. I just don't know what to do. So the Father is pleading with his children. And he asks his children, hear me. He say, hear me. Hear me. Now, why is it important to hear your Father? Why is it important to hear your Father? Now, the word hear goes beyond the physical act of hearing and implies spiritual reception, understanding, and obedience, particular in reason to the Creator's words. So the Father was asking his children to hear the understanding, in particular, dealing with the Creator's words. He wants them to be in a reception, a receiving point of what he's about to say. Now, here's the problem. Here's the point. The Father is pleading to his children. Okay? So now we realize this person here that's speaking in verse 1 is not a wicked man. Okay? Because he's pleading for his children to hear the word of the Creator. Because a righteous man will plead with his offspring. Give me a second. Yes. So the Father is pleading with his children. He's pleading in the way that he wants his children to hear that is what he's trying to explain to them. Because the Father gives real advice. Okay? And I'm going to show you what that advice is in a minute. He said, "Hear me, your Father." That's personal. Okay? That's personal. Because the reason why it's personal is because he understands the importance of what he's speaking. See, a lot of times men just would talk just to talk, but a man, a righteous male, understands what he's speaking. He's not just speaking just to speak, because he's speaking through the particular response to the Creator's words. And that's why the next point it says, "Hear me, he said, hear me, your Father, O children." Okay? "And do thereafter." See, notice what he says, "Hear me." He's telling them to be in reception to what he's about to say. Because a lot of times when people talk, when a father opens his mouth, a lot of times it's being ignored. A lot of people in the house ignores the Father. Now, anybody want? Let me put the link in the chat. If anybody disagree with this, let me put the link in the chat, because we're gonna have a conversation tonight. We're gonna have a conversation tonight. In the house, everybody ignores the Father. Okay? Everybody ignores the Father. And the father is pleading with his house. Anybody want to have a conversation? Hit the link and come on up. We can have a conversation. He's asking his children to do thereafter. What does that word do? But before we get there, he wants his children to respond to what he's about to say, dealing with the Creator's words. Jack will say, not in my father's house. Okay? I'm going to show you why people ignores the man. Now, a lot of people say, well, like you just said, Jacqueline, not in your father's house. Okay. He told the man, the father is asking his children to listen and do thereafter. Now, let's go to Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Let's ride it real quick. Let's go to Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Deuteronomy 64, let me get in. They want to bother me now since I'm on live. Everybody want to bother me. Deuteronomy 64, let's ride it real quick. Hear, O Israel, the Creator, our power is one Creator. Notice he didn't say, listen, Israel, because listening and hearing is two different things. The law asks Israel to hear. And here goes with the reception to understand and be obedient. See? To understand, to be reception, to be receptive to understanding and being obedient. So when the father asks, when he asks his children to do thereafter, the next thing we have to understand is, what is a father? A father is a male parent or an ancestor, a leader or an elder. Okay? It's not just a male parent, it's an ancestor. And that person is a leader or an elder. Now let's stay right there in Deuteronomy. And let's go to Deuteronomy 32 and 7. You see? Let's go to Deuteronomy 32 and 7. Look at what it says right here in Deuteronomy 32 and 7. Because see, we're talking about leaders. We're talking about leaders. The law sends you back to your leaders. The law don't send you back to just anybody. It sends you back to your leaders for them to tell you the truth of you. Now watch this. Deuteronomy 32 and 7. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy what? Father. What is a father? A male parent or an ancestor. See? So the law is asking you to listen to your father. That father's just not your male father that you came from, but that father is an ancestor that was there before you. I just sat there and told you everybody don't listen to fathers. Everybody don't listen to the fathers in the house. See, the fathers is not just the male parents. The fathers is your ancestors as well. And we're going now. I want you to pay attention to that. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of what? Many generations. Ask your fathers. Ask your ancestors. Now, how many of us goes to our ancestors and asks them about their history of when they were young? How many of us do that? Or we ignore it and just look at our lives? When I was young, how many of us just ignore their life? Oh, they old now. See, they old. They old now. And then you just carry on with your life. The Bible tells you to ask your father. Who's your father? Your ancestors. How many of us go to our ancestors and ask them about themselves? Or that's just not important? Huh? Say that work? Let's have that conversation. How many of us ask our ancestors about the history of them? How many of us go and explore the history of our ancestors that is not here no more? How many of us do that? Huh? How many of us do that? Ask your fathers and he will show you. Ask your ancestors. Go and talk to your ancestors. They're going to show you the history. Go track them. I ain't talking about no spit test. Go do the paperwork and watch you see the footprints of your ancestors. How many of us do that? How many of us trace the paperwork of our people? How many of us do that? We don't do that. A lot of us don't do that. We ignore our fathers. Please. How many of us go and do the research to find our fathers, our ancestors, to see who they was? Because they had a life too. They weren't perfect. But how many of us go do the research on them or sit down and talk to them? Those who are here, still here, just sit down and talk to them and let them tell you their life, who they are. How many of us do that? A lot of us, we don't do that. That's why the fathers, the ancestors have to plead. They have to plead with us just to listen. Ask our fathers and they're going to show you. They're going to show you the truth of you. The fathers, the ancestors. And then he says, and then verse 7 says, and ask thy what? Elders. The elders. Those are the older ones that is still around. See? And they will tell thee. See, paperwork gonna show you, and the elders that are still here is gonna tell you. How many of us sit down and talk to our elders? How many of us sit there and trace our fathers and see who we really are? Or you just going by what somebody tell you? Which one? Because fathers is not just the male parents, it's your ancestors. It's a leader, it's an ancestor, a leader, or an elder. And the elders are still living. Yeah, most of your ancestors are gone. You see? See, we have to really pay attention to what's being said. Because the ancestors, the fathers asked the children to do. But if you look at the wording, in going back to Ecclesiastica, Sirach, the 3rd chapter, if you look at the wording, it is a plea for understanding. It's a plea. And then ask the children to do. Let's look at it again. He says, and do thereafter. To do. That means to perform, execute, undertake an action or duty. Meaning he is asking you to operate in his role in life, and this will keep you safe. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. He's asking, the fathers is asking you to operate in his role. See, this will keep you safe. Our ancestors are asking us to operate like them. Now you say, well, hold on, Israel's ancestors were sinful. Yes, they were. But we don't need to be operating as sinners. No, we don't. But you say we have to operate like them. Yes, we do. We don't operate as them. We operate like them. Meaning what? I see what they've done. I realize they Israelites. And now I need to move according to what I'm supposed to be doing, which identifies me as into being in a covenant with the Creator. That's what what my ancestors were supposed to be doing. But they went against that. See, that's what learning your history does. It teaches you what they were supposed to have been doing, how they were supposed to have been acting, thinking, responding. But then when I read and I trace, I see what they've done differently than what they were told not to do and what to do. I see how they were supposed to respond. So now I'm a respond like that compared to how they did respond. Nope, I'm not going to respond like that. But if you never know your ancestors and you never did the research on your people, then tell me how are you supposed to correct what they've done? And we're going to get into that because that's a law. You're supposed to correct. Your children's supposed to be your salvation. That's a law. I'm going to show it to you tonight. And if we never teach our children to be our salvation, then tell me, how do you correct your gene line or your ancestors of your bloodline? How do you correct it? How do you do it? You're supposed to perform. But if you never knew how to perform, because remember I told you in part 1, your families messed us up. Our parents messed us up. And we have to tell our parents, y'all messed us up. Y'all messed us up. You didn't teach us the law. So now we have to now come and correct what you have done on top of what the things we've done personally. And then some of us, we done had children, and now we got to correct the children. So now that takes on the child, you, and your ancestors, your parents and your ancestors. You see the burden that is upon your shoulders? You see the burden that is upon your back? But a lot of you, they got y'all believing in JC. But you got the burden on your back. Dealing with your bloodline, dealing with your house. See, what's going to keep you safe is when you operate like your ancestors supposed to have. And if they operated that way, all praise to the Creator. You should be almost there. But if they didn't operate, You got to now tread through the garbage, through the waste, until you get to the plains. Meaning your mindset gonna be all messed up because you done created habits that's outside of the will, and that thing done become a part of you. But according to the Bible, if you follow what the ancestors were supposed to be like, notice what it says, that you may be safe. Notice he used the word maybe. It ain't guaranteed, family. You know why it's not guaranteed? It's because one day you can fall out of this thing. You're not safe. That's why you have to strive every moment, every moment, every second of the time you breathe in and out. You got to be striving back towards the Sabbath, and you have to be using wisdom with it. Okay. You're supposed to be performing and operating in his role, your ancestors' role in life. This is what will keep you safe. Israel say, we will, all the words that you have spoken, we will do. So now you got to go back to those words. You got to go back to those words that Israel spoke. You do. That's what you have to do, family. And see what they didn't do. See why they didn't do it. Understand what was there that caused them not to do it. You see? Why my family never taught me the history of my people. Understand it. Go ask them. Go find out why. What are they hiding? You see? Because a lot of us, we're ignorant of our own bloodline. Because our families never taught us. And a lot of them older people know who they are, but they will never tell you. They will sit there and they'll die with that in their possession without passing that thing on to the next generation. See, you don't want to do that. You don't want to keep that ignorance and that deception going. Because as long as the parents, the teachers, or the elders, or the ancestors not pass the information down, guess what? The children come after that will be ignorant of themselves. So now tell me what the foundation they're going to be building. It's part of the curse. You will have children, but you will not enjoy them. Why? Because you refuse to pass the history to them. So they don't have a foundation to stand on. So they go stand on what they think is a foundation to them. See? What is a father's role? A father's role is a protector, a disciplinarian, a provider for his children. See, your ancestors did all of that. They protected you by not being 100% in what they were doing. That's protection. If you go and do the research on them, you'll see where they fell. Now that's going to protect you because you realize, you know what? Back then, that's what they were doing. Guess what? When you look at it today, they're still doing the same thing. That's why the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. It's just moving at a faster pace now. A disciplinarian. A father is a disciplinarian. He don't care. Stern, straight, forward. You don't have that many. A father don't have that much emotions towards the child, and we're gonna get into that. He doesn't. You see, he's a provider. He's going to get up and do what he needs to do for that child to be able to have. We talking about ancestors. We talking about leaders. See, a father fosters emotional and psychological growth by offering a unique form of what? Validation and promoting self-esteem, which helps the child build confidence and a healthy relationship pattern. This is what the father does. He fosters. You know what foster means? He fosters emotion and psychological what? Growth. He fosters that. Meaning, he'll put the truth there, but there's nothing there with emotions that a child can grab onto. It's just going to be the straight truth. He don't have that emotion that, like, oh my God, my son. No, he don't have that. A father he's a disciplinary. Do you know what a disciplinary is? He's a warrior. Right. Jacqueline said, as well as stability and assurance. Correct. That's all praises. That is correct. He's a warrior. That's a disciplinary. He's going to make sure he fight and keep that thing balanced. You see? And when you're dealing with a person that fosters emotional, psychological for growth, they're going to give it to you raw. That's why when you trace your ancestors, you're going to see it raw. You ain't going to be able to say, oh, I wonder. No. It's going to be exactly what it was if you do the right research. You're going to see who your ancestors were, are, and still is today. Because a lot of us, we still run the same pattern. Because we still have that same line. This is why during sex, he gives the seed to the female. You see how they go? The male gives the seed to the female. But let's keep riding. Let's keep cooking. See, he's a disciplinarian. He don't show emotions, he show raw emotions. See, a foster, when you foster something, that is not real. Meaning it's not really that much emotions in it. It is what it's going to be. So now let's go to verse 2. It's to rock the 3rd chapter. Because we're going to tie both of these in. Because see, the man gives the seed to the female. We're going to talk about this. So let's go to verse 2. For the Creator has given the father honor over the children. He's given the father honor over the child. And has confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. And I asked that question last week at the end of the podcast. So let's get into it. Because see, when sex happened, the male gives the seed to the female. I'm gonna sit there and let that sit for a minute. The male gives the seed to the female. Okay? Which means when he gives that seed to that female, he detaches himself from the seed. Uh-oh. Pay attention to that. When the male have sex with the female and he copulates inside of her, he He's giving the female the seed now. And when he pulls out of her, he detaches, let me say it again, he detaches himself from that seed. You don't believe me? When you're born, the seed is inside of the man's scrotum. When the man has sex, that seed comes from out of that man, goes into the woman. Tell me, and when he pulled from out of that woman, is the seed still connected to that man? Yes or no? Somebody put in the chat for me. Let's have this conversation tonight, because we're going to have it. Rather, if you're ready for it or not, we're going to have this. Is the man still attached to the seed? Once when he give that seed to that female, is he still attached to the seed? Yes or no? Somebody put in the chat for me if you ain't scared. If you're ready to have a grown-up conversation tonight. Because we say, oh, it's the seed of the father. Well, the seed come from the man. Yeah, the seed was born with the man. And if there's not a woman, that seed would die with that man. Let me say it again. The seed was born in that man. And if there's no woman there, that seed would die in that man. So, I'm going to ask again before I move on. When the man copulates in a woman, is he still connected to that seed? Yes or no? Let's have this conversation tonight. Look like everybody's scared of the conversation. Everybody scared of this conversation tonight? Everybody's scared. Everybody's scared. Everybody's scared. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. He detaches himself from that seed. He's no longer one with that seed no more. I know y'all don't like that. I know some people don't like that. But let's look at the reality of it. He detaches himself from the seed. And when the seed is born, he does not negate himself from his seed, because he realized that seed came from him. He realized that. He realized that seed came from him because there was a form of detachment. He can give guidance with no emotional care. You see? That's what makes him a disciplinary that can foster. That can literally foster emotional and psychological feelings for growth. Brother Shava said there is a disconnect until the seed is born, then he bonds with it. Okay, yes, that is true. Yes. The father don't have no more once when he give that seed to that woman. The father he detaches himself from that seed. So the seed no longer belongs to him. It now belongs to the woman. Mr. Jacqueline said the scripture gives you only the man rights standing over the seed, but I think there is more here than we can discuss in one night. Yes, it is. It's a lot here. It's a lot here that we can really discuss, because a lot of people gets into this thing and saying it's the man's seed. No. The man was born with the seed. But when he copulates inside that woman, there's a detachment. Now, I'm not saying that the man don't recognize that that's his seed. Nah, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. Sister Latoya G said there and not diminish. The men begat the kids. The woman bear what the man begots. Yes, that's true. She brings forth what's inside of that man. She brings forth. Yes, that's true. But the point is, when the man copulates inside of the woman, the man detaches, the seed detaches itself from that man. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about in a minute. There's no way around this. The seed now becomes the woman's seed, because now she has the responsibility for the seed. See, the man carried the seed until he copulate the seed inside of a female. He no longer carries that seed no more. Now that female carries that seed. See how that work? We're going to have this conversation tonight. Sister Latoya also say that there and not diminish the man. I think I just read that, right? Did I skip over something you said? Yes, I think I did. Jeremiah. Okay, let me go backwards. Jeremiah 29:6. Take ye wives and beget sons and daughters, and take wives for your sons, and give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, that ye may what? Be increased. Yes. Yes. I didn't mean to, I didn't see that. That thing came in fast. So yeah, I had to back up. Yes. Jeremiah prophesied that, and yes, there and now I can go back to this point right here. What you said there, and not diminish the man beget the kids. The woman bears what the man begets. Yes, the man puts the copulation inside of the female, but when he does that, there's a detachment there. He's no longer detached to that seed because he gives that seed to that female. That's what happens. He gives that seed to the female. And when he gives that seed to the female, the female now detaches herself to that seed. You see that? Because now she has what is called an egg, and that her body supplies that egg or ovary for that to be able to house that seed. Remember now, the man's scrotum housed the seed first. Okay? Let's look at it. Let's look at it for what it says. Let's look at it for what it is. The man's scrotum housed the seed first, and then he copulates inside of the female. And then the female body, she don't have a scrotum, so her body provides what is called an egg, ovary, to be able to house that seed that the man copulates in her. So now, when the man detaches from her, she carries the seed now. She carries it. If I'm wrong, somebody come on up and correct me. She carries it. Once detached from the seed, and when the seed is born, he does not negate himself from the seed, but because there was a form of detachment, he can now give his seed guidance with no emotional care. I wonder if you're catching that. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. Who caught what I just said? The man can now give emotional, non-emotional guidance to that seed because he detached himself from it. Who don't understand that? I'm giving you a process of the house. He, as a righteous man, give his seed to the female he feel he can trust. Let me say it again. When a righteous man will give his seed to a female he feel he can trust. Because that's a big responsibility for a woman to take a man's seed. That's a responsibility. Because you're bringing forth him. I want that to sin and I want that to sink, because let's go back to Ecclesiasticus Sirach, the 3rd chapter, verse 1. The Bible says, hear me, your fathers. The father is pleading. Why? Then the 2nd verse says, for the Creator has given the father honor over the children. The father's pleading, but he was given honor over the children. The righteous man give his seed to the female that he feel he can trust. On the other hand, the undisciplined man will have his seed all over the place. See how that work? Let's have this conversation. Let's have the conversation for real. So when men control the seed from birth until he gives it to a female he can trust, or if there's no female, he would die with that seed. Period. He's going to die with that seed. Once he gives that seed up, that seed now belongs to the female. Let me prove my point. Let's go to Genesis 3:15. Let's go to Genesis 3:15. Now you're going to say, well, that's part of the curse. Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this one tonight. We're going to talk about this one tonight. We're going to talk about this one tonight because we talk about the house. We talk about the house, walking in wisdom. We talk about the house. Genesis 3:15. And it says, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman. Huh? He said, I'm going to put enmity between the serpent and the woman, and between what? Your seed and her seed. Why didn't it say his seed? Now, first thing y'all say, well, see, because her seed was Cain. Well, no. That's not what he was talking about. He was talking about once when Adam copulates inside of her, the seed now belongs to her. It's her responsibility over that seed. It's her responsibility over that seed. It's her responsibility at that point over that seed. Let's have this conversation tonight. This is Maureen Yacob and ITFTR Network. I want to have this conversation tonight. We're going to have a grown folks conversation tonight. Everybody, hey, if you just coming in, man, make sure you like the page, share the page. Share it with 2 people tonight. Let them know we're here. Rather they look at it or not, just share the page for Maureen Yacob and ITFTR Network. We're gonna have a real discussion tonight, family. This is gonna be something. He was telling the serpent that once when the male copulates in the female, that female has the responsibility to protect that which was given to her. Let's have that conversation. Who don't understand that? Who don't understand that? This is where a lot of the females gonna get in trouble, because it's a big thing when you take a man's seed. It's a huge thing. It's something huge. Because every man is not meant to have a seed line. You say, well, no, that's not true, because he said be fruitful. No. We understand that. But we understand that there's a thing called the pecking order. Even in nature, they got it. It's called a pecking order. It's a pecking order. So he was telling the serpent that he's going to put enmity, hatred between the serpent seed and her seed. Now some people say, oh, see, well, that's proven about JC. No, it's not. Because once when the man copulates in the female, that female now becomes the governor over that seed. Brother Trey said, so does that mean that woman is trying to what? Lead the household? Could be. That's possible. That's possible. That's possible. But that's not what he's saying. The reason why he's going to put hatred there give me a second. Okay. Yeah, so what he's saying is he's going to put hatred there. So it's the woman's job. Her job is to protect the seed once it's given to her. That's why she has to know who she's getting the seed from. Oh, we're going to have this conversation because a lot of our houses are messed up because of this. And it's sad to say it. The female has to be responsible for who she takes that seed from. Genesis 3:15 has given her full responsibility over that seed. That's why when we go to Ecclesiasticus Sirach, the 3rd chapter, let's go back again. Let's read the 2nd chapter. Let's read the 2nd verse again. For the Creator has given the father, the ancestors, the male parents, the elders, the leaders, honor over the children, and has confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. And remember, I asked you last week, before I closed the podcast out, who gave her that authority? The Creator did. And I'm gonna show you how, I'm telling you how he gave it to you, how he gave her the authority. He gave her the authority from you men. You see how that works? He gave the man the honor, but the man gives her the authority to rule. Woo-hoo! We're going to have this conversation tonight. Now, the first thing y'all have said, well, see, because the man is weak. And no. That's not what they're saying. Let's not jump the gun. He told Eve, he told the serpent that it's going to be the woman seed fighting against your seed. That's what he told him. And why is it the woman seed? Why is it the woman seed? See, y'all say, well, see, the Christian church say, well, see, this way JC come in at because see, JC didn't have a father. This is how you know they lie. They're liars. The church are liars. The man has to copulate inside of the woman in order to produce a child. Sister Latoya just put that in Jeremiah 29:6. The man has to copulate in the woman to be able for that child to produce. Because if not, that man, he was born with the seed, he's going to die with that seed if there's no woman to help him copulate. Is that how it work? So once when that man copulates inside of the female, it's the female. Oh, come on, you're dying too fast for me now. It's the female's job to govern that seed of that man. It's the female's job to govern the seed that the man put in her. You see? Now, beyond traditional roles, fathers also act as what? Playmates, teachers, mentors, guiding the children to navigate challenges and develop a sense of purpose. That's the father's job. And he does it through fostering emotions and psychological thoughts. Meaning he's not attached. He's attached, but not really attached. You see? So now let's look at this thing. Let's go to Psalms 103, verse 13. Psalms 103, verse 13. Because this is crucial. This is crucial. Psalms 103:13. Like as a father pitteth his children, so the Creator pitteth them that what? Fear him. A father has great respect for his seed that he has placed in that female. You see? He has great respect for his seed. The problem is, why is he pleading in Sirach, the 3rd chapter? Why is he pleading? See, a father pity his children. Pity. He showed compassion to his child. But he don't do it in an emotional way. A lot of females think that a man's supposed to be emotional when it comes to certain things. He doesn't. That's not a man's objective. See, let me read it again. Like as the father pitieth his children, he has compassion for his children. So the Creator pitieth them that fear him. The Creator shows compassion to them that fear him. You see how that go? See, the Creator don't get into all that mushy stuff. He don't get into that. And men don't really get into all that as well. They don't. And see, a lot of females think that a man who don't show the little mushy stuff, that they really don't, the man don't care about him. No, that's not true. That's not true. He's detached from a lot of things, but he showed compassion back towards it on the back end. This is what he does. The man does not show compassion because he's detached from the seed. Let's go to Proverbs 23 and 24. Because we want the man, see, a lot of people want the man, the male, to be all mushy, mushy, gushy, gushy, and all that. That stuff don't work like that. And see, we done got into the public where we see the Caucasians be all, the man be all like that up on a woman, and see that, and then the black woman see that and say, I want my man to do that. The real man ain't gonna do that. The real man ain't gonna do that, family. Ain't gonna do that. I won't be able to do it. Not saying anything wrong with it. No, that's not true. That's not what I'm saying. See, a real male is not going to foster the energy in that mode, because that real man has a duty and responsibility that he's holding. You see? Proverbs 23 and 24. He ain't gonna do it. These things also belong to the wise. It is not good to have respect of person and judgment. You see? It's not good. See, that's why a real male don't show respect. He don't show partiality and judgment. Not even with his own children. He does not. He does not. Because he knows his responsibility when it comes to his children. You see? See, a lot of us, we don't get into that. We just think that, oh, well, you know, I'm not going to do this. And no. Let's look at the whole thing. Let's look at this thing real quick before I move on. Let's go to Genesis 18:19. A real man is detached from that seed, and he gives that seed to the female that he trusts, because he's believing that that female is going to do the right thing with his seed that he entrusted her with. Genesis 18:19. For I know him, that he will what? Command his what? Children and his what? Household after him. You see? He didn't say he will emotionally attach to them. He said command his children. He's going to command. That means to give order. See how that work? If he was not attached from them, he could not command them. That's why the Creator can kill you with no punity, because he's detached from you. That's why he have no respect to person, because he detached himself from you. He brought you from the ground and blew from him in you. That's the seed. He recognized that breath. He recognized it. But he's detached from it. That's why when you fall, you fail, we fall, we continue to fall, it doesn't affect the Creator, because he's detached from it. Does he love you? Of course. Do he want you to perish? Of course not. Would he discipline you? Yes. But would that change the Creator because you keep falling? No. It just won't. He's going to command his household, his children. After who? Him. Abraham. See, that's fostering emotions and psychological thoughts. He fosters that because he has a purpose and a game plan that he's trying to fulfill within his house. And being, it's okay to be friends, playmates, but at the end of the day, no, we got to get down. We got to get down to the basics of the work. You see how that go? And then it says, after them, and they shall what? Keep the way of the Creator. They shall keep. Meaning in the future, he's gradually going to move them to the point of them keeping the laws. He already knows they're not going to do it automatic, so he's going to gradually get them to that point. Meaning they got to see progress. He got to see progress. If they gonna see progress, and he's going to see progress. No man should have a house and not see progress going towards the Sabbath. If there's no progress, that means he's connected to the seed. And they shall keep. They shall is future tense. Keep the way of the Creator to do what? Justice and judgment. They shall keep the way, the commandments of the Creator to do justice and judgment, that the Creator may bring upon Abraham that which he has what? Spoken to him. Listen, family, it's up to your house and your children for you men to be blessed. Let's talk about that tonight, because see, a lot of us, we think that, no. Your house and your children causes you to be blessed or cursed. Who don't agree with me? Hit the link and let's talk about it. You're not getting around your house and you're not getting around your children. Your child gonna tell you the truth, and your house gonna expose the foolishness. Let's have that conversation. We talk about walking in wisdom. He said, for I know. The Creator already knew Abraham was going to do right. But they can't brag on you. You got too much stuff in front of you. You got too much stuff in front of you. Men, us men, we run after the wrong female. Women, you allow the wrong men to copulate in you. Let's have that conversation. And we find our houses messed up. Deuteronomy 6, 5, and 7. Deuteronomy 6, 5 through 7. Let's have this conversation. Oh boy. And thou shalt what? Love the Creator, your power, with all your heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. Everything about you is supposed to be loving the Creator. He knew Abraham was going to command his household. He knew it. Because Abraham, he might not have been 100% perfect, but he loved the Creator with everything about himself. Verse 6, and these words which I command thee this day shall be in your thoughts. What is in his thoughts? Loving the Creator. Loving the Creator. With all his mind, with all his soul, and with all his strength. That's what's in his thoughts. Verse 7 says, and thou shalt what? Teach them what? Diligently. Carefully. You're supposed to teach these laws carefully. See? You're supposed to teach these laws carefully. Now you say, well, what about, no, we're gonna get back to the men and the women. Sister Latoya put up Jeremiah 36:6. But they say, we will drink no wine for Jehonadab. The thing moving. Jehonadab. Hold on. Jehonadab, the son of Rechab, our father command us, saying, ye shall drink no wine, neither ye nor your sons forever. Jeremiah 35:18. And Jeremiah said unto the house of the Rechabites, thus says the Creator of hosts, the God of Israel, because you have what? Obeyed the commandments of Jonadab, your father, and kept all his precepts, and done according unto all that he has what? Commanded you. Jeremiah 35:19. Therefore, thus says the Creator of hosts, the God of Israel, Jonadab, the son of Rechab, shall not want a man to stand before me forever. Shall not want a man to stand before me forever. Now think about what she just put up. Think about what she just put up. Therefore, thus says the Creator of hosts, the God of Israel, Jonadab, the son of Rechab, shall not want a man to stand before me forever. Basically, the sons, she wrote, basically the sons keeping their father's commandments was the reason that the house was blessed. That's why I say I want y'all to think about what she just put up. It was the reason why the house was blessed. The father commanding them not to drink and dwell in what? Tents, and them keeping it blessed their house in captivity. Think about that, family. Because that runs back to Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter. Call to mind. The father commands the house. He was given honor over the children. He detaches himself from his seed. That's why you have to what? Teach them diligently. Because if your house is messed up, family, you're cursed. That's as simple as that. You're cursed. Unto your children. You're supposed to carefully, slowly methodically, specifically teach your children the law. And shall what? Talk to them when thou what? Sitteth in thy house. The law's supposed to be spoken in your house. And when thou walkest by the way, even during your day, you're supposed to be talking about the law. And when thou what? Liest down. Watch this. It's not just talking about going to bed, family. Even when you about to have sex, you supposed to be thinking about the law. We're going to have this conversation tonight. This is Morey Yacob and ITFTR Network. You're supposed to be thinking about the law when you're having sex. It's not talking about every time you're having sex, thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not. That's not what we're talking about. Your mind should be operating in the law while you're having sex. When thou liest down, and when thou what? Rise up. When you get up out that bed, you should be thinking about the law. Let's keep going. Let's go to Proverbs 22:6. Now we get ready to bounce now, family. Proverbs 22:6. Everybody should know this verse. Everybody should know this one. See, because Sister Latoya confirmed, if you do what the word says, and if the Father teaches, and you follow the Father's instructions, that's what blesses you in captivity. You see, Proverbs 22:6. Let's get it right here, family. It says, train up a child in the way that they should go. Train. When you train something, you're enforcing it. See? Train. You're exercising that thing daily. You see? There's going to be mistakes there. That's why you're in training. To make sure it when the day come to perform, you understand it. They understand it. That's training. You're training your child so when they get to a point of understanding, they can now perform it. Train up a child in the way that they should go. When he is old, he will not depart from it, because you done put something in that child that child can't run from. The child can't run from it. That child can't run from it. Let's go back to Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, the third chapter, Sirach, third chapter, verse 2. For the Creator has given the Father honor over the children. Now let's talk about this honor. See, because if the house is not right, they will not give honor. The Creator gave honor to the Father over the children. It's rather if the children don't honor them or not, it doesn't matter. You still have that honor. Now, for them respecting that honor is how their house is blessed. But the honor is still there, regardless of how the children or the wife feel. It doesn't matter. The honor is still there. And that's why verse 2 says the Father was given honor. To give honor means to give esteem and respect to someone or something, reflecting a sense of value, reverence, or dignity. So the Father, the Creator, gave the Father esteem, respect, value, dignity, and reverence when it comes to the children. You see? He was given dignity to be over. He said the Creator has given the Father honor over the children. You see? He esteemed the Father over the children. The Father have that dignity for the children to supposedly respect. This was supposed to be taking place. Reverence. They supposed to reverence their father. You see? The child's supposed to respect that father. He's supposed to have dignity. She's supposed to have dignity of that father. Now, what I mean by that? Esteem. Because that child came from him. That's what he means. And when that child realized her father or his father or their father, it's supposed to bring a pride, some type of dignity. It's supposed to have some kind of self-esteem about them. You're supposed to give that to them. See, because when they see their father, they're supposed to reverence him because they know where they come from. How many of us reverence our fathers? I know I come from him, so I'm giving him that respect. It gives you dignity, knowing this is where I come from. How many of you all feel that way about your fathers? It boosts your self-esteem. It esteems you to realize I come from him. How many of y'all feel that way about your fathers? Let's have this conversation. For the Creator has given the fathers honor over the children, because the children supposed to have dignity of the foundation of where they come from. It's supposed to give them that esteem. They're supposed to reference that. They're supposed to reference him because he is their foundation. But we'll look past the man and say, oh, no, it's the Creator. But the Creator put you in him. You weren't just created from thin air. He put you inside of him. I want y'all to see the process. He put you inside of that man. Now the question is, how do you respect that man that he put you in? How much do you respect him? How much do you honor him? Do he give you any? Is there a dignity that you feel about yourself from coming from that particular man? Or are you ashamed of that man? Oh, we about to get into it. Are you ashamed of your father? Do you reverence him? Huh? We're still in Genesis 3:15 too now. Do you reverence him? Which one is it? Do you respect him? Or you just look at him as nothing? Which one is it? Do he bring some type of dignity to you, knowing that's your father? Which one, family? Because the Creator gave him honor over you, respect over you. He esteemed him over you. You see? He reverenced your father over you. How do you feel about that? And has confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. But let's go to Deuteronomy 29:29. Deuteronomy 29, verse 29. Because did he entrust you with him? You see? Deuteronomy 29:29, the secret things belongs to the Creator, our power. But those things which are what? Revealed belongs to us and our children forever. The secret things belongs to the Creator, but the things that is revealed belongs to us and our children. That we may do all his words of the law. So he put you inside of that particular man. How do you feel about that man? How do you feel about him? How do you feel about that man that you came from? How do you feel about him? Do we honor that man? Or you look at him as nothing? The father gives his seed to the female as a gift. Let me say it again. The father gives his seed to the female as a gift. So his authority now needs to come from the woman. I know y'all ain't gonna like that. Some of y'all gonna turn it off. Y'all gonna run now. Y'all gonna just take off. I don't agree that. Ain't no woman. Yeah. Let me read it again. If you don't agree with that, put the number 1 in the chat. If you agree, put 1. If you disagree, put 2. Let me read it again. The father gives his seed to the female as a gift. Jacqueline put 1. She agrees. So his authority now needs to come from the woman. Because he gave his authority to the woman when he gave his seed to her as a gift. Oh, man. This is something, man. This is something. We're going to have this conversation tonight. She now, because look what it says in verse 2. And has confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. So now you're telling me that the woman authority over the sons is now confirmed? You mean to tell me she's over the sons? I thought it was the man. I thought the man was over the children. I thought the man was over the sons. The Creator has confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. The Creator did that. And he created, and how was the authority confirmed? How was it confirmed? Because men, we chose that woman. And when we chose that woman, we copulated in her. You entrusted her with your seed. So now she uses herself to now bring forth your seed, nurture your seed, produce your seed. You see? Manifest your seed. Now, watch this now. When that child comes, that child is still attached to that woman when she produced that child through her vagina. That child ain't connected to you no more. He's not connected to us men no more. And even when that child comes through the matrix, that child is still connected to that woman. Let me go back. Deuteronomy 29:29. The secret things belongs unto the Creator. Our power. But those things which are what? Revealed. What was revealed? When that child comes through the matrix, that child is still connected to the umbilical cord that's connected to that woman. You see how that worked? She didn't let go of that seed. She held on to that seed even when she brought forth that seed. Her body was still connected to what you put in her. She's holding on to that thing. Everybody's holding on to that seed that you gave her. She's holding on to that seed, family. You entrusted her with that seed, and her body doing just what you entrusted her to do, was to hold on to it and govern it. See the authority? She haven't let the authority go because her umbilical cord is still connected to that baby. It's still connected. And that's why it says, and has confirmed the authority of the mother over the children. I mean, over the sons, excuse me, Salaki, the sons. Notice it says the sons. It said not about the daughters, it said the sons. The mother has the power over those boys. And I used to always wonder, why is the sons so connected to the women? They supposed to be connected to that man. No. Remember, man, I told you. You chose her. You chose her. You entrusted her. That's what you did. So when you talk about confirming the authority of the mother over the sons, the word authority means God's supreme and inherent right to command, control, and enforce obedience over all creation. So the woman has the authority to command, control, enforce obedience from them boys. Because she was given that rights. She was given those rights. You see? She is now carrying the seed, which now makes it her seed, which makes her the head of that seed. Or it makes her the governance over that seed. See how that work? And the reason why it specifies sons, Shalakia, it specifies sons, is because they are the next generation who would give their seed to a female. That's the reason why I specify sons. Because they're the next ones who's going to give their seed to a female. So what does that mean when they give their seed to a female? They're giving her the power to command now. So now let's look at Ecclesiastes. Let's verse 3. Whosoever honoreth his father make an atonement for his sins. I just asked you a few minutes ago, how do you feel about your father? Because you came from him. How do you feel about him? You respect him? Do you feel dignity? How do you feel about that man you come from? Do it bring dignity in your life? Does it esteem you? Or it deflates you? You see? Does it give you self-pride, respect? That's my father. Or it makes you hide, want to fight him, look at him as nothing. How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel? So whosoever honoreth his father, make atonement for his sins. So you mean to tell me, if I honor my father, I could atone for my sins? Yeah. Because the female now governs the seed. Once you give it to her, it's hers now. She's governing the seed. That's why I said her body, you see that seed that you put in her is developing in her. Not you, men. It's developing in her. Okay? She's governing the seed now. She's the governor of the seed, and that will and that seed recognizes. Let me go back again. She's the governor of that seed once you give it to her. And the question now becomes, once when she produces that seed, will that seed recognize the father's honor? Will that female teach the seed the foundation of itself? What is she going to teach that seed? That's your father. That's where you come from. Huh? Or will that seed be left with an independent thought of itself? See, this is talking about atoning for your sins now. This is why JC don't matter. Because if you don't respect your father, in which way the Creator put you from birth, how do you atone for what you claim you hate? You hate your father. You don't like your father. You can't stand your father. Your father don't even give you no type of dignity of knowing that's where you come from. It doesn't even esteem you knowing that you come from him. Man, you brother, you got to know my father. No, I don't. All I got to know is that's where you come from. How do you feel about your dad? Your father? How do you feel about him? Because this will help atone for your sins. And your sins, remember what I told you. You are going to do what, family? Huh? What you gonna do? It's your father. It's your house is what curses you. Your father's supposed to command the house. Exodus 29:12. Is that female going to give that seed the foundation of itself, or she's going to ignore the foundation of where that seed come from. Now, watch this. We're not talking about, oh, well, see, your father name, see, you James child. Nah, we ain't talking about that. Because watch this. A lot of us, we would try to ignore who the father is to that child. I'm going to say that, I'm going to say it again. A lot of people tries to ignore who's the father to that child. So the Bible says, whosoever honoreth his father make an atonement for his sins. You see? Exodus 29:12. And thou shalt take the blood of a bullock and put it upon the what? The horns of the altar with thy finger, and pour all the blood besides the what? Bottom of the altar. You see? We're talking about making an atonement. And if you think about, if you look at what I just read, it's dealing with blood. So what it's about the blood of an animal? The Bible says that the animal had to be pure before you can sacrifice it. And it had to be specific animals that needed to be sacrificed. So that means, family, when you speak against your father, you need to be specific. When you talk to him. Because a lot of us, when we talk, we just talk. And thou shalt take the blood of a bullock. It's an animal. But that's allegorical to you. Because you come from your father. And now you're connected to your mother. And a lot of us, we get mad because the father wasn't there. The father didn't do this. The father never showed me that. But the Creator said he honored your father over you. Now, how do you respect your father? Because if the Creator honor your father, why are you not honoring your father? Let's keep cooking. Let's keep cooking. Let's keep cooking. We about done. Proverbs 1 and 8. Proverbs 1 and 8. Proverbs 1 and 8. My son, hear the instructions of what? Thy father. You see? Hear the instructions of thy father, and forsake not the what? Law of thy mother. And we're going to talk about the law of the mother in a minute. That's what people say, well, that's nature and all that. Well, we get into that. But he's telling you to listen to the instruction of your father and forsake not the law of your mother. Stay in Proverbs. Let's jump over to the 6th chapter. And 20. My son, keep thy father's commandment and forsake not the law of thy mother. It says it again. It's repeating it again. So family, let's stay in Proverbs. Let's go to 23 and 22. Hearken unto thy father that beget thee. See? Sister Latoya put that up in Jeremiah. Hearken, listen to your father. It's the same thing when we read it in Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. Listen unto your father that beget thee, and despise not the mother when she is old. You see? Proverbs 27:16. You don't despise your mother when she gets to a certain age. Whosoever hideth her hideth the wind, and the ornament of his right hand, which what? Bewayeth itself. Everything's supposed to be open. Everything's supposed to be exposed. Everything's supposed to be exposed. Let's ride to 20. Let's go to Proverbs 20 and 20. Proverbs 20 and 20. Everything's supposed to be exposed, family. That's why it tells you throughout your whole day, you're supposed to be teaching the law. Proverbs 20 and 20. Whosoever curses his father or his mother, his lamp shall be put out in obscure darkness. Now, when it's telling you whosoever curses his father or mother, that's not just talking about just in general. Your mother and father, your father and mother has to be moving according to law. Proverbs 30 and 17. Let's ride with that real quick. They have to be moving according to law. And if they are moving according to law and you curse them, then you are in big trouble. The eye that marketh at his father and despise to obey his mother. The ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagles shall eat it. What's that saying, family? You're supposed to respect your host if it's righteous. If it's righteous. Deuteronomy 21. Deuteronomy 21, 18 through 21. If a man have a stubborn child and a rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have what? Chastised him, and he still won't hearken unto them. I want you to pay attention to what it's saying. He's stubborn. He's rebellious. He will not obey his father or his mother's voice. And that they have what? Whipped him. Verse 19. Then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him. You're going to grab him. Not just the father. It says both of them. You see how they're working in unison? You see how they're working in unison? And bring him out unto the elders of the city. And we talked about the elders earlier. Those are leaders. You bring them to the leaders. But everybody today calling themselves your leaders. That's why every man has an opportunity to produce his seed. And the woman she just take the seed. She don't care about the attributes of the man. She just take the seed. Verse 20. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son, a stubborn and rebellious. He will not listen to our voice. He is what? A glutton and a drunkard. Now you see why he won't listen to them? He drank too much and he eat too much. And all the men of the city shall stone him with stones, that he die, so that thou put evil away from among you, and all of Israel shall hear and what? Fear. Exodus 21:17. And he that curses his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. That's why you have to be very careful, family, when you're dealing with your house. This verse is talking about a disobedient child. Ignoring or being ignorant of his foundation, and that foundation is the father whom they were placed in by the Creator. That's the house they were talking about. So the atonement either on the father error or on the child's error. But watch this. Let's go to Sirach. Let's stay in Sirach. And let's go to chapter 22. Sirach 22. Watch this. Sirach 22, verse 9 and 10. Watch what it says. If children live honestly, if children live honestly, and have what? Wherewithal they shall cover the what? Basis of their parents. If children live honestly and have wherewithal, they shall cover the basis of their parents. See how that work? Your children covers your life. They're your salvation. In verse 10. But children being taught through what? Disdain and want of what? Nurture do stain the nobility of their kindred. But children being what? Haughty. We will leave it right here, family, for tonight. Your children is your salvation. This is your salvation. How do you feel about your father? The Creator put you in him. How do you feel? Because by you respecting him, this is how, family, you atone for your sins. By how you respect your father. We're going to go even deeper next week. This is Maury Yaakov. But before I go, let me put the link in the chat. Anybody want to come up and have this conversation with me? Come on. Put the link back up in the chat again. Link is in the chat. Hit the link and come on. Come on, let's have the conversation. The link is in the chat. Because that woman you gave authority to. So since nobody wants to come up, this is Maury Yaakov and ITFTR Network. We're going to hit part 5 next week, and we're going to go deeper. We're going to go deeper. But your children can remove your sins. Shalom.